This moment in Joe Biden's speech really resonated, I thought, and it was
Yep.
it's fascinating because, I mean, we've talked in the past about there are some TV shows that are sort of appalling. That show where they offer people money.
Yep.
And they say you can give it to somebody. I can't remember exactly what that show was, but I do remember getting into it with the executive producer on Twitter about how grotesque the show was. And then there's also that sort of like undercover boss thing, which
Yep.
I also think is sort of gross, because there's a certain pathology in it. And it never occurred to me how pathological Donald Trump's catchphrase was. But here's Joe Biden, the first in my mind to raise it. I don't know. Here's Joe Biden saying that very thing.
If you're taking care of an elderly parent, then there's only one person in this election who will help you. There's only one person in this race who will be there, who's always been there for you. And that's Hillary Clinton's life story. It's not just who she is, it's her life story. She's always there. She's always been there. And so has Tim Kaine. Ladies and gentlemen, to state the obvious, and I'm not trying to be a wise guy here, I really mean it. That's not Donald Trump's story. Just listen to me a second without booing or cheering. I mean this sincerely. We should really think about this. His cynicism is unbounded. His lack of empathy and compassion can be summed up in the phrase I suspect he's most proud of having made famous: "You're fired." I mean, really, I'm not joking. Think about that. Think about that. Think about everything you learned as a child, no matter where you were raised. How can there be pleasure in saying you're fired? He's trying to tell us he cares about the middle class. Give me a break. That's a bunch of malarkey.
There you have it.
I think there was probably tens of thousands of people, if not millions of people, who thought he was going to say that's bullshit.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, and that's a pretty effective. That's a pretty effective point. I thought that was a really. I thought that was very effective.
It actually took me aback, to be honest, because I didn't watch it live. I was out, and I had to kind of catch up on the speeches later in the evening. And
Oh, well then, Michael,
yeah.
you're fired.
It almost. I mean, I was shocked at how much it sort of emotionally moved me. I mean, it's a very basic point, but it hasn't been done like that before in the election.
No, I thought that was long overdue. Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.